All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's your host, the smoothest fingers in the gaming industry, coming at you with a baby face. I told you guys I was not going to cut my beard or trim anything until Cyberpunk came out. I withheld that agreement and that my word, which I always want to keep my word to you guys. Try as much as possible. Don't always do it. Not perfect, but I do try as best as anyone can, or as best as I can. I can't hold myself to any other standard than what I can set for myself and what God has set for me. So I try to keep my word. I did keep my word. It's shaved. It's gone now. All right. I didn't really want to trim it all off, but then I was like, it's Cyberpunk, and you know, it'd make it funny. It'd be entertaining, so I shaved it off. Anyways, that's not what the video is here to talk about. You're here for Cyberpunk 2077 news, and that's what we're going to talk about. So straight off the rip, let's get right on into it. Let's talk about my thoughts so far. And rewind a little bit. This is not a patient impression. This is not first impressions. This is not none of that. This is just, I've just completed the prologue. I kind of took my time with the prologue as I'm taking my time with the whole game. My patient impression should be out Saturday night or Sunday, or at the latest the Monday. I won't try and make you guys wait for Monday. I know a lot of you guys are here for Cyberpunk 2077, obviously with the video I just made about the reviews and stuff like that, which I'll talk about that in a second. My patient impressions and stuff like that are going to come, but again, I got to beat the game at least once, or not just beat the game. I got to put my teeth into it. I played it for 8 hours at this point. I'm going to play it for another like 12 hours going on right now. Try to put 24 hours just around the clock on this game, and then I still got Friday and Saturday that I'm going to play this shit out of it. So I should clock about 45, 50 hours by the time this is over, and I know that's not a lot, but I mean, just for an impression video, that's more than enough. People out here making impressions on 8 hours and 16 hours, and I'm like, you can't really get an impression of an RPG, especially like Cyberpunk, in 8 hours or 16, and I don't even think 50 will do it justice just for me. But again, we're hardcore gamers. We actually we play the game, you know what I mean? Some of you guys will get that reference if you're from the other video, and if you're new to the channel, go check that out. Link will be in the description below. So what do I think about the game? Number one, I heard a lot of reviewers saying this, and I want to talk about this right now because I was really skeptical about it. I watched a lot of reviews. Not only just because I wanted to watch reviews to get an idea for it, I wanted to watch reviews because I wanted to see how my experience would differ from theirs, or if I would agree with theirs, which is why, you know, you watch reviews and you see how that goes. I don't know why people buy games based off other people's reviews. It's fucking stupid. I mean, it's actually dumb. I mean, you should just see how it goes, collect enough evidence, and then make a decision on your own. But people don't do that. They just lean on what other people say, you know what I mean? Not everybody, but most of the world does. So for me, I watched a lot of reviews, and people kept telling me that the story felt like there was, the main story at least, there wasn't a lot of weight to what they said. And it didn't make sense to me how they would say there's not a lot of decision or weight or a lot of moments that make you feel like V is a really good character, or that the person who's playing V, but the actor really feels like he's there. And I was really drawn back by that, because I was like, you mean the same people who made Geralt in The Witcher 3? Are you sure you guys playing the same game I am? Are you sure it's not the decisions you made? Are you sure you guys didn't mold V? And that's what I was very concerned with, because it felt like they were rushing the game and that their decisions were different, which I ended up finding out that people like Layman Gaming, and I'm not trying to attack them or anything. I'm just saying they played the game differently than I did. They obviously had to get a review out, or wanted to get a review out, so they played the game that way. They played it, and they went right through it. And it's obvious that this game cannot be played that way. And it's really, really obvious that this game cannot be played one time. And I've already in 8 hours, I already know that. There's already like 8 different ways I want to go back and just play the prologue. That's literally all I want to do, is just be like, I could have done that differently, maybe. I don't know. I was kind of under a lot of pressure. You know, I'm getting screamed at. There's a lot of music going on and stuff like that. The timer's going down. I don't know. That's just me personally. And then there's side quests that I still want to go back and do, see if I do them earlier. So again, it's a very, very complex. And then moving into the next round, talking about just complex, this game throws a lot at you very, very fast. Now, I like that. I like fast-paced games. I like games who really just say, hey, listen, if you want to do the tutorials, go ahead. But if you don't, and you just want to learn things on your own, go ahead and do it. And that's what this game has done for me, and I really, really enjoy that. But it's almost overwhelming. And I heard that a lot in reviews, again, was that people were saying that it was super, super overwhelming. And I was like, you're not a gamer like me. You can't handle games. I put up with Skyrim. I put up with The Witcher 3, man. I do this. And then I played this game, and I was like, fuck. fuck, man. It's like messages are popping up every 5 seconds. You got a whole bunch of like effects going on your screen, which is why I completely understand the epilepsy and seizure stuff. I get that. Even with me, obviously being in the Navy and being a veteran and being in combat, I don't want to say being in combat, but, you know, being in combat operations, obviously Navy's a little bit different than other combats, but still, you know, being in combat operations and having stuff go off, I still got a little bit of an anxiety and stuff like that from jets and stuff. So I understand completely, but again, I knew what I was getting myself into before I played Cyberpunk. I understand that there's epilepsy, seizure warnings because I play video games. I'm not going to blame it on CD Projekt Red. That's just me. That's my fault. You know what I mean? Nobody takes responsibility for themselves anymore. Obviously, it's just fucking stupid. But topic for another day. I do understand with all of that going on and just how my anxiety works if it gets really, really worked up. How at first, man, it was really overwhelming. And like I said, there's a bunch of messages going on. There's a lot of glitchy effects, a lot of stuff like that that could seem like a glitch, really. It feels like it's a glitch sometimes, but it's actually the game. It's really, really weird, but really cool at the same time. I really enjoy that. But moving on, I wanted to talk about a negative. And this isn't from my experience, well, kind of, sort of from my experience, but this is also from others. If you bought this game on a console, I'm praying for you. I'm really praying for you. We had a discussion in the Discord. And again, if you guys want to join the Discord, have some discussions about Cyberpunk 2077 or any game for that matter, always go check the link in the description below. Sometimes I got to update it because Discord always refreshes their links. You can join our Discord. We talk about the game, talk about other games as well. Go ahead and join there. That's probably like the only plugging I do or the only marketing I do on this channel is like the Discord. I just want to talk to you guys. I love talking to you. But on the Discord and in Reddit and on Twitter, I've seen a lot of people dealing with issues on the console. And this is pre-PS4. All the gameplay and footage that I've seen so far has been pre-Day Zero patch on the PS4 and Xbox One, which a lot of people have said, or the developers have said, not a lot of people, but the developers have said that after that patch, the game completely changes. It's not as buggy no more. Now, I don't know how true that is. You guys let me know in the comment section below if you're playing on console, how your experience is going. But especially for the old gen, which at this point, they're the old gen. The old generation consoles, the PS4, the Xbox One, just the really, really old ones, you know, the first ones, they're struggling, like really struggling. And it begs to differ, and I'm really concerned because I don't think they're struggling because CD Projekt Red didn't give them attention. I think that they're struggling because they were originally made for the Xbox One, the PS4, and the PC. And then you had Geforce Now, then you had Stadia, and then you had the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, which I think when they had that original launch date for April, I think they were really almost done. Like, I think it was completed for the PS4 and the Xbox One, not in the sense like it was just completely done. That's kind of a contradictory, right? I just said that. Not in the sense that it was like ready to go. It was just a sense that like, hey, we got a direction and we know how we can clear this up. But then sometime down the line, PS5, Sony, and Microsoft seen how dominant and how hyped up this game was, and they realized we don't have much launch titles, especially Xbox was like, we don't have much launch titles, so listen guys, we'll slide you some money under the table, or not even under the table, could have been over the table, and we want you guys to put this out next gen. And I think that's what ended up happening. They were in the middle of doing the PS4 and Xbox One, and then they were like, oh, we got to do the PS5, now we got to do Stadia, now we got to do GeForce Now we got to make GOG with GeForce. It's a whole bunch of shit. And you can tell that and then there's a pandemic going on. So, I mean, they had to work from home and stuff like that. So I completely understand everything that they had to go through. And I'm patient with them, man. I said this from the beginning. My problem was not the delays. My problem is not the issues. My problem is that these guys obviously came out and stated that they're going to release the game on time, and they should stick to their word and at least not push it back when the game goes gold and then, you know, do their Twitter stuff talking about they're going to launch the game and then they don't do it. That was my biggest issue. All right. Now, my issue was never about delays. I don't care that much about delays. I'd rather have a great game than a buggy game. And I want to talk about bugs and glitches right now. From my experience, I've played this on a PC. And I played it on GeForce Now, which is still PC, but GeForce Now runs a little bit differently than my PC. I have a 1070 Ti and an i5 8400, 16 gigabytes of RAM. This is by any means, whatever. I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I've been playing the game all day. By any means, I don't have a great PC. It's not, you know, some 3080, 3090, you know, i9. It's none of that. All right. It's not a beefy computer. It's a middle of the line computer now. Almost, I'd say it's dropping below average now. I'd say that I definitely need to upgrade the CPU for sure, but it can handle games, and it handles Cyberpunk pretty well. On medium settings, I get 60 FPS, almost no issues, but there is pop-ins, there are pretty much stutters, and there are glitches in this game that don't really break my immersion, but they definitely, they definitely make me think, okay, maybe the delays, maybe could have did another delay. Now, I don't want to say that because I really enjoyed the game and I wanted the game to come out, obviously, as everybody else did. But it's like, it is what it is. But thanks to Geforce Now, I'm playing with ray tracing on, DLSS 2.0 support, and I'm just like having a ball playing. Now, some of the glitches that I've been experiencing could be just because of Geforce Now and just some of the stuff that's happening with it. Like there's this weird audio bug where there'll be like this little glitch in my ear where it'll sound like the game's doing this little, like staticky thing, but I know Geforce Now is fucking up because I played Ghost Runner and Apex on it just to test it out before Cyberpunk, and it was the same thing going on, and there was the same grainy experience. But Cyberpunk runs almost better than any other game that I've played on Geforce Now so far, which is really good. I really am grateful for that because that's the one game that I want Geforce Now to run for and that I pay for Geforce Now for. So again, there are glitches, there are issues, but nothing has broke my immersion. Nothing's made me be like, okay, I can't play this shit. I can't do this. I can't go with this. Again, I've toughed out Skyrim. I've toughed out The Witcher 3. I've toughed out Fallout 4. I've toughed out Black Ops Cold War for a little bit, and I've toughed out Modern Warfare and Warzone longer than I needed to, and those were some buggy ass damn games. Other than The Witcher 3, all the games I mentioned are some of the buggiest shits I've ever played. So if I tough them out, don't even get me started on Oblivion. These games are super buggy, and I've dealt with them. I mean, it is what it is, man, right? It is what it is. Moving on to the next topic that I wanted to discuss. I've talked about the story. I guess we could touch on the side quests a little bit. I didn't do as many side quests as I wanted to. I got to about the 8-hour mark, and I was like, look, I've been in this prologue a little too long, man. If these side quests close after I get done with the prologue, it's a little disappointing, but come on, man. I'm not going to spend 10 hours in a prologue. It's just not going to happen. I don't think I'll ever do that. I thought Red Dead Redemption 2's Snow prologue was long. Man, Cyberpunk, that shit takes the cake, man. So I'm not rushing it. Obviously, by any means, I'm not rushing it. I'm just saying that I didn't do as many side quests as I could have done, and they're probably still there when I go load up the game. My game's literally paused right now, and then once I upload this or get this done, I'll put the game back on and continue to grind. So I didn't play as many side quests as I wanted to, and there wasn't a lot of stuff unlocked yet. And obviously, I think the game's gonna unlock further. Oh man, side quests, they're so good, man. It's crazy how CD Projekt Red continues again to prove that the main story isn't all the juice, which again, we've had that before with Skyrim and even The Witcher 3, you could say, where the main quest wasn't as great as the side quests, and the side quests were almost better than the main quest, but the main quest in this game still really fucking good, and there's a lot of decisions, a lot of weight that holds in the main quest, and it's like, man, I've only really been doing the main quest, man. Wait till I get with these side quests, man. These guys are gonna have like the Brotherhood from Skyrim or some shit in here, and I'm fucking lose all my time. We may never get a patient review, damn it. I might just play Cyberpunk for the rest of my life. Nah, just kidding. But it's like that, man. It really is like that. I have enjoyed it. Another thing that I guess it would be a nitpick, but I know the game's gonna unlock. Again, guys, take this all with a grain of salt. I haven't finished the game yet. I'm nowhere near finishing the game yet. The shooting feels clunky. Really, really clunky, and the driving feels clunky. But again, I'm coming from games, especially with the first-person shooter element. I'm coming from Call of Duty, Halo, Valorant, stuff like that, where it's all about gunplay. And then coming into a game like this, there's no way that game was going to live up, or this game was going to live up to those expectations. It's literally not possible. They've got too much stuff going on for them to try and make the first-person shooter aspect of this game like Call of Duty-esque. It's just not going to happen. But I do have to say that there's a couple times that I died in a boss fight where I was like, oh my goodness, man, please, I can't fucking do it, man. I cannot fucking do it. This shooting stuff, man, it's clunky. But I am working with it. I think it's going to get better over time. I expect it to get better over time from everything that I've read, reviewed, or not reviewed, but read the reviews and read stuff from. It does get better over time. It does keep that same little bit of clunkiness feeling. Again, guys, it's an RPG. The number one thing I could compare this to would be like Fallout. It really reminds me of New Vegas. It has that New Vegas shooting feel to it, just polished up a little bit more. It feels a little bit better. And I touched with my controls, and it felt better after a while. And then again, once I level up my character, because it's an RPG, it should get better over time. So my verdict so far. Nah, I'm just kidding. There's no verdict. What do I think about the game so far? Really, really good, but buggy, which is like most of the reviews going on right now. Really, really good, but buggy. But the number one thing that I want to say, man, is just patience, guys. Patience. I was going to include gameplay into this. I don't want to put no gameplay out because it's all basically spoilers. Most of it's spoilers. I haven't done a lot of walking around yet. I'm about to do that now. But it's very, very, very good. And I want to just say something that these people on the internet and people that you read stuff on the internet, whether it's me or anybody else, cannot always be trusted. You have to look at things from an objective viewpoint and understand how you play video games, how you want to experience video games, and then don't let nobody ever break that immersion. I know a lot of people think that's common sense, but in this day and age, it's really, really not. Because if it was common sense, everybody would have it. And obviously, by the last video I did on Cyberpunk, or the last review talk that I did, it's obviously not the case. Cyberpunk 2077 is groundbreaking in every way, shape, or form. From the density of the characters or the density of the crowds, the way the characters tell stories, the way they get emotionally invested. I mean, just from everything into it, you can tell that this is a next generation game, and this is setting the paradigm. And it's just gonna say time will tell when CD Projekt Red will get around to fixing some of these bugs and fixing some of the issues that they're having right now. And again, we'll just have to wait and see what the PS5 and the Xbox Series X get with this update next year. But again, we're getting free DLC, we're getting free updates, guys. The game's out. That's all we can ask for. And I'm by no means somebody who wants games to come out buggy and then patch them, but I do understand with everything that's been going on in 2020 and all the stuff that they've had to endure and all the obstacles that they've had to face, this is really remarkable that it's even out. I mean, to be honest, it's really remarkable that it even came out in the state that it came out in. Again, not talking about the PS4 or the Xbox One. I'll talk about that in impressions if anything changes or if it's really that bad, and then I'll talk about that as we go on. But from everything that I've experienced personally, I enjoyed the game. I think the game's fun so far. I definitely recommend you to go get it from what I've seen. I'm not saying that I'm reviewing it again. I'm just saying, like, if you want my opinion, 8 hours in, a lot of people have asked. I really, really enjoy it. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'm going to get back to my Cyberpunk gaming. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Wanted to get this out for you guys because a lot of people have been asking me ever since that Cyberpunk video how I feel about it. Got a lot of people on Snapchat, Twitter, Discord just wanting to hear my impressions, want to hear me talk about it. I really like the game, but it's really buggy, man. You just got to get through it. If you're a guy who nitpicks about bugs and optimization way too much, this is not the game. You're not going to have a fun time with it. You're going to have to wait a little bit until they fix this. But again, guys, the game hasn't even been out for 24 hours. I don't know any game that's been perfect on launch ever, period. Doesn't happen. It's never, ever happened. And I'm just appreciative that the game's out and I'm having a blast. I'm really having a blast. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's your boy Zah AZ. Bless up. As always, God bless. And I'll see you guys in the next one.